Reporting live from Outburst Club in Atlanta, Fright Plus News, I'm John Abba. As the controversy continues regarding Tourette's campaigner John Davidson yelling out the N-word at this year's BAFTAs, Davidson has finally responded to the backlash and much of the shock online. As mentioned, Davidson, who has a special condition of Tourette's syndrome called coprolalia, would upset many when he would yell out the N-word repeatedly at different times, with one moment being caught during the broadcast as Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo presented an award for the night.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA for a vital part of movie making. We're here to...
Now, much of the anger towards Davidson's outburst would be aimed at the BAFTAs and the BBC for failing to edit out the moment, while some, like Jamie Foxx, would not allow Davidson's disability to be an excuse for the use of the word. For Foxx, he would specifically call out the fact that Davidson allegedly did not use any other words that night. On Instagram, Foxx would write, "F that. He knew what the F he was doing. Why didn't he yell out when somebody else was on stage?" Now, it appears that this comment by Foxx, as well as from others online, has gotten back to Davidson. For the first time since the incident, Davidson would have his first interview to explain the night. Davidson would open up with Variety, saying that despite what some have said, the N-word was not the only offensive thing he would say that night. "I would appreciate reports of the event explaining that I took perhaps 10 different offensive words on the night of the awards. The N-word was one of these. And I completely understand its significance in history and in the modern world, but most articles are giving the impression I shouted one single slur on Sunday." Towards the end of this interview, Davidson would go on to address more of the criticism online. Comments following the BAFTAs, where people have said things like, "I need to stay inside," "I wouldn't say these things unless I thought them," and "I'm a racist deep down," are deeply upsetting for me and show there's still so much to do. The negative responses only go to show the importance of people seeing the film and understanding more about an incredibly complex neurological condition. I had an expectation that the BBC would physically control the sound at the awards on Sunday. The only time I became aware that my tic had reached the stage was when Delroy and Michael B. Jordan appeared to look up from the roles as presenters, and soon after that, I decided to leave the auditorium. Now, in this same talk with Variety, it would also be confirmed that Davidson's team had reached out to the studio handling centers in order for him to directly apologize to Jordan, Lindo, and production designer Hannah Beachler. Now, despite the private attempt, many have went on to call out Davidson for not publicly apologizing since realizing how many were bothered by the moment. A user on X would write, "If John Davidson has not apologized by now, then that man is racist, period. His racism may not have been the reason he shouted out the slur in the first place, but it definitely is the reason he feels he shouldn't have to show any empathy to the people he inadvertently hurt." For many, it is Davidson, who is 54 years old, failure to lead with apologies to those who experienced the uncomfortable moment, and immediately to Delroy and Michael B. Jordan, has left his character open for interpretation, with many feeling that his hidden entitlement has been exposed.
If I have to sneeze and I can't control it and I accidentally sneeze in your mouth, I'm still going to apologize. If I had a disability and I was in a wheelchair and I accidentally run over your foot with my wheelchair, I'm still going to apologize because I still ran over your foot. If I have involuntary muscle spasms and I accidentally smack you across the face, I'm still going to apologize because you still got slapped across the face, even though I have involuntary muscle spasms. So regardless of this man having Tourette's, which is totally understandable, he cannot control his tics. Some people, I can clearly tell, they don't understand what Tourette's is. So if you don't, please go look it up, because just because you say something with Tourette's doesn't mean that it's in your vocabulary, okay? He still should have apologized. No one is saying that he should be apologizing for his disability. I don't see a lot of people saying that. But regardless, you still have to apologize if you offend someone or hurt someone, whether if it was intentional or not intentional. Like all the examples I named, why would I apologize for sneezing? Why would I apologize for being in a wheelchair? Why would I apologize for having muscle spasms? But you know what I am going to apologize for? For hurting you unintentionally.
When describing how his outburst works, Davidson would go on to share, depending on the severity of the condition, people either have an ability to suppress what they are saying for short periods of time, or they don't. Suppressing can be compared to taking a full bottle of Coca-Cola and shaking it each time you feel the need to tick. Before long, the pressure is so intense it has to be released, and it bursts out, and on occasion that can lead to a tick attack. For me personally, my brain works so fast and the ticks have always been so aggressive that I have no idea when they are coming or what they will be. I have almost no ability to suppress, and when this situation is stressful, I have absolutely no choice but to tick. It simply bursts out of me like a gunshot. The most offensive word that I ticked at the ceremony, for example, is a word I would never use and would completely condemn if I did not have Tourette's. I'm often triggered by what I see and or what I hear, and this part of the condition is called echolalia. Davidson continues to deny that his tics are related to how he feels, thinks, or believes. So let's talk about it more in the comments below. Now that Davidson has explained the night from his point of view, does this clear up his part in the controversy? Or does his failure to not have immediately apologized exposes an unsaid truth? For more news in comedy, culture, and sports, be sure to subscribe here to our YouTube channel and follow Hype Plus across all social media. Of course, if you enjoy stories like this, be sure to head over to hypersclub.com to check out full interviews and more original content. And if you have a story that you think we should cover, send us a message now at hypealerts.com. Reporting live from Hypers Club in Atlanta, for Hype Plus News, I'm John Abba.